This is another New Black World Order TV Productions. Chopper, Chopper, Grand Rising family, what's happening? Um, Today we're going to discuss, right? Because on my last um video I mentioned the controversial statement Satan has a son, right? There are some or there's a part of the divide among the believers, among Muslims, Christians, and Jews, right? They believe because of certain verses, certain words, um, because of certain people's characters, right? That Satan could possibly have a son, and then there's the other side of the divide that believes that Satan is a spirit and that only the creator, the Father, has a son called Jesus Christ, right? That God has begotten a son, but the devil has not begotten a son or seed, right? A seed, right? And that the devil cannot boast that that's my son, right? That only uh, Jesus can proclaim that he is the son and that the devil does not have a son. So let's get into this. Let's see. Let's look at the book of Genesis. Let's look at different verses in the Bible, the book of Job, and let's see. And let's expand this conversation and comment, disagree with me, because in the New Black World Order, there's room for disagreements, right? In some organizations, there is no room for disagreements. We try to prevent uh, the breakaways, right, and become one centralized brotherhood and sisterhood, right? A black or camaraderie and harmonious discussions that can get heated, that can get tested, that can bring about, emotions, but we dive into it anyway, right? Because we do not allow these things to divide us, right? We meet them head on and actually overcome the divisiveness of it, right? Take the shock out of it. So let's get into it. The word Satan has a son. In simple English gematria, right, and the chart is right there. And if you take the letters for Satan has a son and match it to the chart and see what the numbers that's assigned to it, and you write the number down for each letter so you can have the total phrase and you can have the total number. So the number for Satan has a son in simple ordinal English gematria is 132. And in full reduction is when you take the double digits, because some of the letters are double digits, from 1 to 9 is single digits, obviously. And from then on, it's a double digit. And so you reduce it down. And so Satan has a son, right? Full reduction is 33. But written straight out and added out in the normal ordinal English gematria process, it's 132. And in Francis Bacon cipher, it's 444. Okay, so This conversation is past due because if you are proficient in the Bible or Quran, you should know the answer, basically, because it's your text, it's your script. You should know whether or not Satan has a son, or whether or not Satan is just a spirit, or it's a son with a spirit. I don't know. You guys explain it to me, but I'm going to discuss it with you. This thing is, well, as I say, is a past due conversation, right? Of whether or not the devil can boast that he has a son, that he has a symbol of himself, right? That when he fell from the sky, right, that was alluding to an astrological constellation or something, right? And that son or that child was born in a certain month or something, because they say that Satan fell from the sky. It was a skyfall, right? An asteroid or some celestial body that they're using to symbolize that, there's a child that can say, that Satan is his father, and that Satan can say about that child, that's my son. Okay. We also want to, put into the cipher the words a past due, my son, symbol, and skyfall, right? We want to also first go into that if Satan has a seed, right? If Satan has a seed, then Satan produced the fruit, right? And so what the child would ultimately be the fruit of Satan, right? It would be the seed of Satan, right? And that it would have not only a son, that it would produce descendants, right? And that group of people would have to have a hidden identity. Uh, they also would have a blueprint or the blueprint, right? And that they would ultimately thrive and progress through sex selection, right? Um, they seem to deal with the number 3, 6, and 9, and that those children would ultimately, right, be called the children of light, right? Because you say that Satan has transformed himself into an angel of light, right? And that those children would be seeking to be inaugurated into authority, into sovereignty on the earth, etc. And that those children would be the bringer of light, right? The bringer of knowledge, etc., etc. This is according to your scripture because, Satan introduced, right, the human to the tree of knowledge, right? So let's also discuss when we talked about when we mentioned the word sex selection, it would ultimately be child sex abuse, right? That through sex selection, childhood traumas, um, that they would ultimately bring forward, right, children who are not healed from that, right? And that they would pass on, like, these emotions through the synapse, through the genetic material that's related to memories, and transfer that from generation to generation in order to strengthen the core of that negativity, etc. So let's like discuss this. Does Satan has a son? I'm talking to the Muslim, the Christian, and the Jew, right? Um, the words, right, that link to, right, 132, right, that will deal with this, the words Satan's angels, right? Satan angels, are they ultimately the children of Satan? Are they flesh seed? Are they produced through sperm and ovum in a birth canal? Just the way Jesus was, right? That these Satan angels, these children, as I say, would come about with knowledge and seek to indoctrinate, right? The word Satan angels, the word indoctrinate, right? And that they would ultimately try to attempt to match their light, match their knowledge, right, to astrological bodies, the numbers surrounding them, etc., etc. So the word astrological comes into view from the word scaffold, right? And that those children will ultimately be deceivers, right? Lying bastards, right? Because if you say they don't have a father, then they're bastards. Now, I think whether or not they have a father or don't have a father, they're still some lying motherfucking bastards, right? Yeah, and that the flag, right, of the people who were inaugurated, right, and took sovereignty over us here in America, their colors are red, white, blue. Okay, and that they rule under the dome, right? Because most of their houses of authority have domes to them, and that they have mostly sometimes in the ceilings or windows opening to that you can see the firmament, right? They produce, propagate, indoctrinate by way of false religion. And they communicate with each other. They would have to if they have an hidden identity, right? They would have to communicate each other with each other, back and forth through hidden messages, right? Um, and practice child sex abuse, which is an epidemic, just like the opioid epidemic, right? So if we look at these links to this number 132 that we got from Satan Has a Son, right? These words that I just mentioned, Satan angels equals 132. Indoctrinate equals 132. Astrological equals 132. Lion bastard 132. Red, white, blue 132. The firmament 132. Opioid epidemic. False religion both 132. Hidden messages 132. Under the dome 132, where they rule from their flat square floor, right? Child abuse, 132. And it's funny that the guys under the dome that rule from the square flat floor, right, that were inaugurated and elected into power, have these laws where that if children reach a certain age who were abused, they cannot convict. So that literally means that those lawmakers placed into place stipulations that will protect the abuser and not the child that was abused, because they're trying to create, or as I say, carry on the blueprint, right? Carry on the blueprint, right? To produce world domination. Um, they are the enemies, right? The enmity is between these group of people and the people of the planet, right? You call them Satan. I say they're enemies, right? Either way, we both got them motherfuckers pegged, right? We both see that their ways and actions are inappropriate and have been found disagreeable to live with in peace. So we talked about the word seed, right? And we also stated that the word Satan has a son, fully reduced is 33. And if you take the word seed, SEED, adds up to 33, right? And so these people were traveling to and fro throughout the earth, as your book says, seeking whom they may devour. In the book of Genesis, it talks about the seed. In the book of Job, it talks about Satan traveling to and fro throughout the earth. So if he's traveling, he has to have a compass. He has to have some sense of direction, right? So the word compass adds up to 86, right? A past due, remember I said this is a past due conversation, adds up to 86. My son, 86. Symbol, 86. Skyfall, 86. And ironically, when we say Satan has a son adds up to 132, if you multiply the number 86 that we just got from my son, a past due, compass, symbol, and skyfall, if you add 86 times 12, you come to a grand total of 1032. That's that 132 again. So talking about that seed will bring us to the word fruit. The fruit of Satan, right, will be the child of Satan or the children of Satan, right? And the words fruit of Satan adds up to 150, right? 12 letters, 3 words. Remember we talked about hidden identity. Hidden identity adds up to 150. The blueprint, 150. Sex selection, 150. 3, 6, 9, 150. And the difference between a 3, a 6, and a 9 is 3, 3, 3. Bringer of light, 150. Children of light, 150. Inauguration, 150. Right? So we should be clear on identifying, right, whether or not Satan has a son, what are their systems, what is their blueprint on the planet, what is their operandi, it's false religion, it's hidden messages, it's indoctrination, it's opioid epidemics, right? That's fucking this country up right now. And we gotta see this for what this really is. Remember, this is a past due conversation, right? And let's answer this question. Let's broaden this conversation. Does Satan have a son? And these videos are like short videos, and I'm going to put out the full PowerPoint presentations to these videos. They're going to be like from an hour, maybe to 2 hours, right? And they're going to be on my website, nbwostoreenvy.com. That's nbwostoreenvy.com. And that'll be coming out soon, maybe before the book or right after the book is here. The book is going to be dynamic. It's going to be packed. It's going to be look at the past, present, and future as it relates to these curve and corner guys, right? And how these two seeds, right? These two progeneses, these children, these brotherhoods, have been placing us in a God cult, right? Their experiment as they attempt to move towards a more perfect union, right? Between those two parties that's controlling the people, and by listening to their issues and getting you to join this party or that party, because it's two seeds, and they are controlling you through creating chaos in order to bring about the order, the answer, the solution, which puts them right back in charge of you. So this is what my book is about, and this is what all of these videos are about. It's about getting right down to the nooks and the crannies. If we ultimately measure twice, we'll only cut once. This has been another New Black World Order TV Productions. Chopper, chopper.